What's going on, guys? Joey here, and I'm going to be breaking down the 9-game NBA main slate for tonight, Tuesday, on DraftKings. So, the first three games I'm going to skip over kind of quick just because I'm not a fan of them. The first one is Denver at Detroit. For Denver, I like Jokic, who is 12,500. Always going to score a ton. And tonight, with the value, I feel like you can easily fit him in there. Other than that, if Jeff Green is in, he's a possible option that I would like. And then the last one, if Jeff Green isn't in, I would consider Austin Rivers, especially at the minimum price. He clearly got 34 minutes last game, so I think he would be a solid option. Let me go to the Clippers in Washington. Oh, I'm sorry. And then on Detroit's side, don't like anything on Detroit. On the Clippers, Washington game, Clippers, I don't like anyone. I can't figure them out. They seem to be inconsistent. Then on Washington's side, I like Bradley Beal. He's shooting guard eligible at 9,000. He's a little pricey for what he's been scoring, but eventually he will bounce back. Could be tonight, so why not try to go after him? And Kyle Kuzma, who's 8,100, been scoring awful the past two games, but I would assume he's got to bounce back. He obviously can score in the 40s and 50s, so hopefully he gets back to that. He's a possible option. And he probably won't get owned like Bradley Beal. They'll probably be super low owned. Then we got Charlotte at Toronto. For Charlotte, I like Rozier over Ball. $900 cheaper. Probably going to score the same, if not more. Then we go to Toronto. For Toronto, I would prefer Van Vliet over Siakam, but I'd probably skip just as a whole. They're hard to figure out. They kind of bounce back and forth each game. Then we get to my favorite game, the Pelicans at 76ers. I would like a big stack out of this game. I could even see a 4 or 5 man stack for the Pelicans. You got Graham, you got Hart, you got Ingram, and you got Valanciunas out. So that makes me like Nickeil Alexander-Walker a lot. Then you could also play Garrett Temple in there. And you can go to Herb Jones. So if you play three of those guys right there on the Pelicans side, you've already got three in that game. And you've got 7,700 per player left and 38,500 overall. Then we go to Philly's side. So for Philly, with Milton and Curry out, I like Maxey. You can play Maxey. And you can go all the way down to, or not all the way down, you can go over to center and go to Embiid, who is pricey at 11,300. But he's going against Hernan Gomez. He should be able to eat pretty well tonight. So you got five players from one game, like I'm kind of playing around with right now. Alexander Walker, Temple, Jones, Embiid, and Maxey. And that would leave you at 6,900 per player left and 20,800 overall. So that's a possible route to go. And then we go to Sacramento and Boston. On Sacramento's side, if Fox is out, which he's questionable, then I like Halliburton a lot, and I like Terrence Davis a lot. Terrence Davis has been playing great with one of those two guards out. But if they're both in, I would just skip this team as a whole. On Boston's side, everyone's healthy, so that's an easy pass. Then for the Lakers at Brooklyn, this is the next game I like a lot. For the Lakers side, I like LeBron if Anthony Davis is out, but it says he's probable, so that would just be a skip on the whole team. And then on Brooklyn's side, Kyrie is out, Kevin Durant is out, so that means Harden is probably one of the more easier options without even thinking about it. And I would think they'd probably start with James Harden, Cam Thomas, Patty Mills, Kessler Edwards, and one of the three centers, Aldridge, Claxton, or Sharp. Claxton is questionable. If he's available, he would probably start. If not, I would assume it's probably Sharp again, and who knows who will end up better, Aldridge or Sharp. But yeah, I think you could play Harden, and honestly my favorite out of the value is Cam Thomas. So you could play that, and you would have 5,300 left with one spot remaining, the forward spot. So that's a possible route, and I think that could easily get the job done. And then we go over to San Antonio and Houston for that game. Not a huge fan of it. If anything, I'd probably consider DeJounte Murray at 10,000 or Derek White at 6,000. But other than that, I mean, that's probably the only two possible options in that whole game. Then we go to Dallas and Golden State for that game. Luka is a possible option, and that's probably it. Curry just never pays off like you would hope he would. Luka's going to score, I mean, you see 72, 72, and 67 in 3 of the last 4 games. Luka's always a good option. So Luka is the only option in that game, in my opinion. And then we go to Minnesota and Portland. For this game, on Minnesota's side, if Beverly's out, I really like Russell. If Beverly's in, I still like Russell. So those are 2 options. And Beverly seems to be getting cheaper. Yeah, he's getting cheaper. He was in the 5,000s. Now he's 4,300. So if he's in, he's a good play. But yeah, Russell and Beverly. I would probably skip on Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. And we move to Portland. We've got McCollum, who I think is a great play. The minutes are going up. The points are going up. McCollum's a great one. And then, depending on that value, it's hard to tell because it's the last game of the night at 9 o'clock. So, I do think there could be some value with Little, Covington, and Nance all either out or questionable. So, those are, you could possibly try to find some value in there, but it's hard with that being the last game of the night. So, like I said, like right now, I'm kind of playing around with NAW, Cam Thomas, Garrett Temple, Herb Jones, Embiid, Maxey, and Harden. And if we go to that forward spot and see what we can get at 5,300, that could be an actually decent lineup for tonight. I mean, shoot, honestly, you could even throw Patty Mills in there, and you would have a full team right there. Basically 2 games out of 9 games, which is kind of, could be risky depending on how the game goes. Could be blowout games, and I mean, they're shorthanded, so they should still be in there. I don't know how else they would get to anyone else being so shorthanded. But, yeah, a stack between 2 different games, like I said, a little risky, but a possible option. If you were to take some guys out, like Harden, Mills, and Maxey, and go another route with, let's see, who can we go with? Say we go McCollum in one of the guards, in that guard spot. Line it forward. We go I didn't even mention him. Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has been playing well, scoring in the 30s in the past 2 games, and playing 32 minutes in the last game, and then 21 in the game before. So the minutes kind of bounce back and forth. But he's another good, cheaper option. He's only 5,500. Say we get him in there, and then we go. And then we got 10,400 left. We go up to DeJounte Murray in that utility spot. And that's a possible option too. So that way we're not fully stacking just 2 games. And yeah, I mean that's basically going to do it for the breakdown for tonight's main slate 9-game NBA DraftKings slate.